So let's have a look at the decks that I used this week, starting with Zataro. So in here we have the This Might Hurt tarot. This is the guidebook. It's quite brief. These are the backs. These are the edges. The cardstock is matte. So I do like the holographic edges. I think they're pretty cute. The backs don't really do it for me, to be honest. Like, it's such a colorful deck that I like the layout, the design, but black and white's a bit boring, personally. Anyway, the deck itself it's good quality. The guidebook, like I said, is a bit brief and a little odd the way it's described. They've also got a little bit of information about the tarot, but I do feel like obviously the guidebook could be better. In terms of the aesthetic, I do like the color palettes for each court. I think it's nice. The deck itself has a lot of diversity in terms of, you know, gender and ethnicity and mobility, so that's cool. It's definitely not pippish, which is great. I don't know, I'm trying to, I like it, but I don't love it. But I do like that it's modern and it has modern depictions, so I think that's really cool. But yeah, it's just because I think it's the guidebook that lets it down. I'll read from it later so you can see what I mean about how it's sort of written. I love this High Priestess card. I think that is the best. I do like it though. Will I keep it forever? I don't know. There could end up being another modern contemporary tarot deck that I find maybe more appealing, but I'd like the Nine of Wands with the pens. I think that's cool. The Chariot, yeah, look, it's pretty cool. I do like the depictions. And like I said, I think the color story is gorgeous. The energy of the deck, I'd say it's modern. It's a little like colloquial, I guess I'll say that. But otherwise, I love the skies in the background, the cups. I'm going to keep it and I'm going to play with it. It's a deck that I just don't reach for very often. That Queen of Wands is awesome. That's the thing. So I'm just going to have to see how I go with it, you know, over the next year. Do I reach for it? Do I just not excited to use it? We'll just have to wait and see. There's a lot I do like about it. It's just one of those things though, but as a whole, for whatever reason, I'm not in love with it. And it's a bit hard to understand, but why? Why? But yeah, I'm still going to keep it and play a little longer with it. So I've also got in here, so I picked 5 decks this week to work with, and in here I have got the Sacred Mothers and Goddesses book. This is really great. It's a great book. You've got 4 pages almost for every goddess, and it's got multiple things under it. So it's about the card, it's about the goddess, it's how to work with the goddess, rituals, spreads that you can do, altars, the associations. So it's pretty in-depth. This is excellent. I love this guidebook. The cards I have modded heavily, so they were a lot bigger, so I cut them way down. The typical Blue Angel, like giant smooth satin thick cardboardy sorts of decks. I edged mine in red, so I cut mine way down to be a bit more easy to use. I like the art. I think it's really vibrant. It's very sort of feminine, and it's calming, even with all of the colors, even with the saturated colors. It's got a very calming, I don't want to say solemn energy, but it's a little bit like that. It's quite, I don't want to say serious. I can't find the right word, the right adjective, but it's subtly powerful, I guess I would say. So besides the goddesses, they also have like just sort of general like archetypes or energies. but I do like the goddess names and the associated keywords with those goddesses, and it's a deck that sort of, it gives me guidance when I need it, and direction, and for that I do like this deck quite a bit. Next up, we've got this one in here. And this is the Starcodes Astro Oracle. So this is the guidebook. So each card has about a page and a half. And before then, there's a little bit about the zodiac, and there's some spreads. So I have a few zodiac decks. So these are the backs. It's a sort of matte satin cardstock. I like the imagery on this card, on these cards. I do like the artwork. I have a few decks, like I said, that are astrological, so I'm a bit out of it. I've got like really bad tooth pain. I've cracked a tooth and I'm struggling. But I found out of all of my astrological decks, this one is the most sort of like oracle-y. It's got the most sort of divination use, whereas the other one's a bit more into like the actual astrology, whereas this one delves a little bit into the astrology, but then it has the divinatory messages and the actions, like I'll show you in the guidebook. You've got a little bit about the astrological component, and then you've got actions to take, challenges this card can bring, and gifts or blessings. And so I do like it for that aspect. If I just want to use it as a divination oracle with an astrological element, I'll go to this. So I'm definitely am keeping this deck. I do like it. It is different to the other ones I have. I feel like the guidebook could have been a bit more substantial because astrology is such a large subject matter and you can go quite in depth with it. But I just personally, as you know, prefer really hefty, in-depth guidebooks. But I find it really aesthetically pleasing, and I like the keywords that they've placed with each card, and I find the message and the guidance really like actionable and applicable. So that is the Starcodes Astro Oracle. And then in here we've got the Sacred Forest by Denise Lynn. So with this one, it's quite in depth before you even get to the cards. It's about a page and a half or 2 pages, and you've got a description of the scene that you're seeing, and then about the card, and then the message from the spirit that it's depicting. So it's a good guidebook. It's well written. I edged mine in like a coppery blue. Those are the backs. They are a matte cardstock. I really like this deck. I like, even though I tend not to like sort of photo manipulated images, I find them too fake. I don't mind it in this one at all. I really like the titles of the cards with the accompanying keywords. It's a bit different to anything else I have. I like them. It's got like a real moodiness, but it's sort of got the deep jewel tones with it, so it's quite vibrant even though it's darker. I like its energy. It's definitely got that mystical, magical woods feel to it, a lot more whimsical than some of my other decks. And like I said, even though it's got pictures of people, I don't mind. I don't mind the cheesy photo manipulations at all. So it's just one of those things where it just vibes. I vibe with it, and I enjoy using it. So some of the cards are really, really, really pretty. And yeah, I'm definitely keeping it. I like this one. I think out of all the Denise Lynn's, this is my favorite deck of theirs. And then in here, in this bag, we've got my Archangel Fire Oracle by Alexandra Wenman. This is a really substantial book. I wanted a deck that was about angels, and this one was the best one that I found. It doesn't just talk about the angels. Each angels have a different like suit, like array color, and it talks about that as well, along with all of the associations, how to meet the angels, how to become the angels, what the angels represent, sigils for the angels. So it's quite substantial. It's quite substantial guidebook. Really good, really well done. In terms of the cards, I find it really odd. For instance, I don't think the backs of the cards match the guidebook aesthetic. I was really like taken back by the pastels of it. I edged mine in like a purple because I also don't think it suits the fronts. I feel like, I don't know, it's a case where the backs just do not match. The cardstock is glossy, which is also not a favorite of mine. Like, it's not the best cardstock, I'll be honest with you. And it also uses, so for the angels, there is sort of an expression, artistic expression in regards to the ethnicities that they place with the angels and the genders that they place with the angels. So it's not the typical representation that you would normally see for angels. I found personally like it's quite different in that respect. Like, I've never seen an Indigenous Australian representation of an angel before, or a spaceman. So some are a bit more typical, and then some are quite unique, which I actually do like that. I like to see diversity in representation, especially for angels, which I just really don't feel are typically like human anyway. I think originally that they don't actually look human. So feel free to just represent them as you wish, to be honest. It's more of an energy when it comes to angels rather than a physical persona. That's how I feel anyway. So I do like the variety. Like I said, the messages are quite substantial. This is not aesthetically my type of deck at all. The backs, the fronts, not my style. But I wanted an angel deck, and this one was the one that I liked the most out of all the ones that I tried, in terms of the breadth of angels and the messages given and the information given. I thought this was the most well done. Oh, man, though, every time I see Zataro, I'm like, he just looks like the most. He looks like a magician, but like a skeezy magician that he just like is gonna steal your watch and not bring it back. I like Gabriel. It's been really fun to learn about different angels that I hadn't heard of before. So that is my angel deck, and now I'll do a little spread and read them all together. But before I go into that, how do I feel they all went? They went pretty well, I'll be honest. It was a bit of a mishmash of genres and types. It was sort of like the odd ducks that I didn't know where else to put, so I just bunched them all together. Very colourful arrangement this week, but I did enjoy it. This is another lot though where I had to do smaller spreads because some of them have just such in-depth messages that I had to make it a bit more manageable for myself. But in terms of the overall energy, it was quite, it's almost like mentor like for me. That's how it felt, like wise wisdom from a mentor, a guardian, so to speak. So that's how I felt energy wise with these decks. It's like friendly but firm advice, which was handy. Okay, so we're going to be doing this 5-card spread here. And for the present situation, I got Standing Stones Passage. As you walk, you come across a large vertical stone standing in the circle in the center of the sacred forest. You know that to step inside the sacred ring is not to be undertaken lightly. It is an act of power. With solemn grace, you enter. Immediately you feel a shift occur within you. It's as if the floodgates of your soul have opened, and there is a download of cosmic information occurring within you. Many believe that standing stones are a place that allows one to embark on spiritual journeys from one realm to another. They can also mark the transition from one stage of life to another. Remember that although life changes, you are eternal. Celebrate all the transitions in life, and you'll experience profound harmony. A voyage of the heart and soul is ahead. This journey may be spiritual or physical in nature. In either case, it is a kind of sacred pilgrimage. Have courage. A great ship can stay safe in the harbour, but that is not what great ships are made for. Be willing to unfurl your might and be rough and the wind. Be willing to unfurl your sails and set forth to the open seas. The seas might be rough and the wind is strong, but you are safe and protected. The circle of stones takes you exactly where you need to go. Since the earliest days of humanity, standing stones have been created as places of ceremonies and as ways to honor the divine. Archaeologists have found that some date back to 4000 BCE. Neolithic people didn't have written language, yet their art and stone circles, sometimes oval or horseshoe-shaped, suggest that they held religious rituals at these ceremonial meeting places. The spirit of the standing stone says, "A sacred journey is ahead. Deeper meaning is waiting to be discovered. You are safe." So, for the next position, I got influences, and that was Pallas Athena Think for influences. Let's find that. Pallas Athena speaks of a sharp and guarded intellect. Mythological Athena is the goddess of wisdom, intellect, skill, strategy, and defense. Her father Zeus swallowed her mother Metis, goddess of wise counsel and planning, possibly to hide her from his spouse Hera. Athena gave her father a pounding headache, then leapt fully grown and completely armored from her father's forehead. This powerful goddess could beat the males at their own game and challenge the world to never underestimate feminine strength and wisdom. Action. Pallas Athena loans you the ability to walk into a boardroom or other professional situation and be ready to take on any challenge, completely in your power, with just the right words at hand. Just ask her. Pallas Athena is within you. Speak to her. She can help you navigate the echelons of power, develop real skills, craft, articulation, and tech genius with her support and your concentration. Connect your trained knowledge, natural abilities, and that spark of divine fire. Just don't overdo the intellectual defenses. Make sure your intelligence and ability to rationalize don't cause more problems than they solve. Take your helmet off in the bedroom. Inventory yourself and see if you, like Athena, underestimate the power of the feminine heart or emotional intelligence. Keep that mind connected to your heart. Challenge. Wherever you are on the gender spectrum, do not think you need to deny or disrespect the feminine, the anima, and the heart in yourself and others in order to access brilliant intelligence and competence. Gifts. Ask for help when you need it, and divine answers will reveal themselves. You can think through this situation with a combination of rigorous logic and a real curiosity about the truth, all connected to an open heart. So in the next spot under challenges, I got King of Pentacles right here for challenges. So I'll be reading from here, but it'll be obviously the shadow attributes. Leadership through abundance. The King of Pentacles reigns over leadership, ambition, and generosity. He is rich in material goods, which he accepts without hesitation, because he has no doubt that he has earned them. The King of Pentacles fully enjoys the fruits of his labor and delights in the physical aspects of life. Most importantly, the King of Pentacles uses his wealth to enrich the lives of others. He comes by his abundance honestly and gives generously. If you are the King of Pentacles, it is time to use what you have to help others. Consider giving some of your wealth to a charitable cause or using it to build something that will do good in the world. What you give or build depends on your interest, position, and skills. It could be money, material goods, expertise, or your time. The King of Pentacles says, if you have it, give it. If the King of Pentacles is a person in your life, they are likely to be a leader in some way. You may be put off by their materialism, but try not to hold their authoritative position, popularity, or wealth against them. This is a generous person who will enrich your life and your community. So that is the King of Pentacles. And then we have final outcome. And I have Gabriel over here for the final outcome. I will read that. So this is an angel of the white ray. The color in the flame is white. The chakra is the upper back of the head, casual chakra. The healing qualities are hope, higher purpose, higher consciousness, collective consciousness of the planet, purity, peace, clarity, spiritual gifts, crystal associations, selenite, white howlite, candle quartz, petalite, calcite. The oil is jasmine, and the star constellation is Sirius, the dog star, Pegasus, the winged horse. So Gabriel is holy purpose. Beautiful Gabriel is one of the most famous archangels along with Michael. Gabriel can be perceived as either male or female and is shown as the card as an androgynous figure to honor the balance of this angel's masculine and feminine qualities. Known as God's messenger, Gabriel's name means God has shown himself. He helps us discover our true life path and truth, and is particularly helpful to writers and those in the communication industries. Gabriel brings hopes in time of hardship, accompanies new beginnings, and guides us through the veil of illusion. I recall my mother saying he once appeared to her in our house when I was a child. She heard a sound like heraldic trumpets, and when she turned around, there was a huge figure as tall as the ceiling in flowing white robes standing in the stairs. She felt a sense of overwhelming joy. The angel only appeared for a minute and then disappeared. My mother taught me about angels from a very young age, and she'd helped me pray to Gabriel for guidance. Still today, I feel this beautiful angel guiding and reassuring me. Sometimes I see bright white sparkles when Gabriel is near, and there's a sense of being in flow with the universe, as though everything I touch turns to gold. Gabriel can bring hope during those times when you feel hope is lost. Years ago, I lost my job as an editor of a national spiritual magazine. I was devastated and thought I'd lost my entire purpose. I felt like a failure because it seemed as though my whole life had crumbled beneath me. With very little money in the bank or what seemed like few prospects, I went through a difficult period that lasted a number of years. What I experienced would be what many would call a dark night of the soul. When I was at my lowest point, Gabriel managed to bring me a message of hope. Walking home one gloomy London afternoon, I had headphones in to take my mind off heavy emotions. Music always held meaning for me. It's one of the ways angels can bring us signs, so I tune into the words of songs to see if they contain a personal message. I'd put my music on shuffle and ask the universe to choose the right songs I needed to hear. As soon as I had the thought, a song came on I never heard before. The melody was slow and melancholy, but even before I heard the words, I noticed a familiar tingling feeling in my heart beginning to expand. I had no idea the song even existed, let alone I had it in my music collection. And when the words start, my eyes burst open and tears came to my eyes. I can fly, but I want his wings. I can shine even in the darkness, but I crave the light he brings, my angel Gabriel. This song happened to be on a compilation album I'd bought before but hadn't listened to. The song on that day, the right moment, when I needed a sign from the universe, was absolute proof that Gabriel was there by my side. You can never truly lose your purpose, and although it may sometimes seem as though you've lost your way, you might just be leveling up. The universe will move you away from any situation holding you back, so you can step into a much bigger role when you're ready. Gabriel and the angels will ensure that you're on the right path, and this deck is living proof that Gabriel's message to me that day was correct. Ask Gabriel to bring you a sign of hope during challenging times and to help align you with your true soul purpose. Gabriel can ensure your deepest desires are fulfilled, and when you lose your way, this angel will blow his trumpet to remind you to believe in yourself. Message: you are in total alignment with your sacred purpose. Feel hopeful. All is unfolding exactly as it should, according to the divine plan for your life. How to meet Gabriel. So then it goes into exactly like how to meet them, like sort of a ritual. Diamond Fire Alchemy, Gabriel's Golden Trumpet. So this talks to symbols of Gabriel's and a visualization to have, like a meditation with Gabriel. And then it's become the angel. You can become the essence of the Archangel Gabriel when you bring hope to others and remind them that they are never alone. Sometimes just knowing that someone believes in you can be deeply healing and motivating. Is there a person you know who could use a little more encouragement? Reaching out to that person could change their day, and what more, bring you a sense of fulfillment knowing you've helped another. Trust that you also have unlimited support around you and can achieve great things when you believe in yourself. Be hopeful and trust the journey is unfolding in the best way for all. Gabriel is a gentle and loving angel, so be gentle and loving to yourself and all of the creatures and people on earth. And in the final position, the theme, I got Vesna, Awakening and Victory. And I'll just read from that. So, when I read from the Archangel guide, I tend to skip over the person's personal experiences with the angel because I just don't feel like that's relevant to me. I tend to just sort of go straight towards the message, and then that last bit that I read, that tends to be what I do when I read the book. Okay. Vesna is one of the most well-known Slavic goddesses, particularly in Serbia and Slovenia. Her name means messenger, but the word Vesna originates from Sanskrit and means illuminated and shiny. Vesna is a fertility goddess who brought renewal and spring to the Slavs, awakening the land to warmer weather and a bountiful life of fruits and flowers after her counterpart, Morana, goddess of darkness and death, took her leave at the end of winter. Vesna was also known as a goddess of victory as she overcame death and darkness to awaken the land. The Slavs used rituals to quicken Vesna's return, most popularly the burning of Morana. As winter came to an end, they made wooden or rag straw dolls that symbolized Morana and set them on fire and drowned in a river to return Morana to the underworld. To awaken and welcome Vesna back into the land, they made small clay larks which were placed on sticks and wrapped with herbs and flowers. Vesna's message: victory has come or is on its way. Stay on course and focus on your role. Allow things to blossom in their season. Even though you fall back into your old ways of thinking at times, you are awakening and starting to see things differently. Keep focusing on this new vision. As you continue to grow from a tight bud into your fully flowered awakening, help will be given so you see life, the universe, as it really is. Like the gradual opening of the third eye, opening and blooming after winter, awaken to the knowledge that you are a sacred being. Call on Vesna when you feel confused. If you're feeling stuck, lack direction, and need clarity and light on your path, to help you awaken to your true purpose and passion in life. When suffering has lingered for a long time and you are ready for victory. Activities and rituals. Ask Vesna to help awaken positive feelings inside you. Meditate on the feelings and sights in your heart and your mind's eye. Focus your energy on the light waiting to expand within you. Allow the life force to awaken every part that has been neglected, suppressed, and forgotten. Feel your power as you continue to shift into a new awakened self. Remember that life is a cycle. Continue your growth from season to season with every challenge encountered, and do not allow anyone to steal away your peace and vitality. Create a lark out of clay and decorate with flowers and herbs. Vesna's card spread for awakening. What am I awakening to? What will allow me freedom from illusion? How will my life change once I step into my newly awakened perspective? What will support me in this process? Creating an altar. Altar. Objects: a white or pastel-coloured altar cloth and white, violet, purple flowers. Representations of Vesna, butterflies, eggs, and nests. Clay figures of larks, cranes, owls, ducks, geese, and other birds. Fruits, flowers, and herbs. Apricots, apples, berries, and bird seeds. Gypsophila, which is baby's breath, and spring flowers. Vervain, sage, cinnamon. Incense and oils. Palo Santo, sandalwood, rosewood, vervain, vetiver, sage, copal, eucalyptus, cinnamon, orange, and grapefruit. Stones and crystals. Clear quartz, lapis lazuli, moonstone, carnelian, kyanite, sodalite, red jasper, amethyst, pyromorphite, chrysanthemum stone, and blue-purple fluorite. I really do love the guidebook for this. It's so inspiring. Already I'm like, okay, maybe I should do the card spread for Vesna's card. Maybe I should incorporate some of those oils into my day today, some of those foods. So I find it very, just inspirational and motivational, and it gives me so many great ideas of what I can do. But those are all of the cards that I used this week. I will be keeping all of them. I hope that wherever you are having an awakening today in a positive way. And as always, stay wild, Star Child.